Mason. It was called a flagrant foul, and Horry hurt his lower back and his wrist, and now John Starks. That's something to say to Robert Horry, and this is being called a flagrant foul.
And John Starks and now Maxwell are being teed up as well by referee Eddie Rush, as the officials, all they can do right now is just to keep everybody calmed down as Anthony Mason on that breakaway, a natural left-hander, decides to go up and try to dunk the thing with his right arm, right hand, and that enabled Robert Horry to get back into the play to commit the very hard foul, and now a flagrant foul to prevent the dunk. And it was interesting, Robert Horry said after he was hitting Game 4 that he didn't think it was a flagrant foul. He thought it was just a good hard foul. It'll be interesting to see what Anthony Mason feels about this, as Robert Horry clearly unable to get up high enough to block the shot, took the arm and took Anthony Mason hard to the floor.
The technical is called on Starks and Maxwell. The flagrant on Horry, sending Mason to the line for the 2, and the Knicks will get possession. It was Otis Thorpe who was most upset, as you take another look at the hit by Horry, most upset about the Mason hard foul on Horry in game number 4.
One more look head on as Mason decided to use that right arm, and then pulling back, it enabled Horry to catch up and commit the hard hack, as Maxwell and Starks, who have been relatively quiet in this series as far as trying with each other. Finally, Maxwell could not keep it zipped, went over and said something to Maxwell, and Eddie Rush saw it, got them both.
In fact, this series has been quiet, which certainly can be considered unexpected. These are two very emotional teams. This is the first series of incidents that we have seen. Hopper gets inside. And the Knicks with a 14-3 run now lead 48-37. We are down to 10 seconds remaining in the half. The lead overthrow. Starks for Hopper. 1 second left. Hopper gets it off. Will it count? No, it will not. Good effort, though, by Mason. And the Knicks receiving a standing ovation as they head off the court. Patrick Ewing, the high man, with 12 points, along with 7 rebounds. Anthony Mason with 12 points.
1994's Game 5 hits halftime. The Knicks have a very good lead, and they've got a very angry Anthony Mason. What do you remember about that whole exchange?
Well, Mason was guarding Akeem very close, and Akeem was one of the guys that had very good footwork, and he used to spin a lot. And when he spun, caught Mason in the mouth, and you know, with the Knicks, if you hit me, I got to get you back.
You know, it's unbelievable, John, looking back on it, and maybe this was before the Knicks had a few too many suspension experiences in their playoff lives. But you're out there arguing, Oakley's arguing, Mason's arguing, guys are separating. I mean, the series was on the line. Are you thinking about that at all?
Well, you know, that's just the way we was as a team. We can seem like we're out of control, but, you know, you look at, you know, you see that tape, we was very in control of ourselves, even though it just seemed like we was out of control.
Through all the emotions, Herb, the Knicks had a lead at halftime of this game. Do you remember what it felt like to think we've got to close this out?
We felt very nervous because, you know, as the first couple of games, you saw teams would go on runs. So we knew they had a run in them. We just had to find some way to stop them. And that's what we were known for, our defense. And we felt when it was time to get stops that we could get stops.
Recount for everybody what happened in the Players' Lounge at halftime. What did you see?
Well, after we broke the meeting, walking through, you saw a lot of people in watching TV, and they were watching the OJ chase. So you kind of stopped in, you poke your head in, you look, but then you remember you got a game to play, so you went on out on the court.
But everybody recognized that it was a big deal, right?
A huge deal, because there had been a lot of talk about it, and then actually to see him in the truck, everybody think he's fleeing, and for it to be on national TV, you know, it caught the attention of everybody.
All right, let's talk about the ebb and flow of emotions and belief in yourselves, because in the third quarter, Houston comes out flying. Mm-hmm. What is it like to take a punch like that in a game like this and get back up again, John?
You had to sustain the run, kind of like what Herb said.
Were you able to do that all the time by yourself, or did you need teammates' help? Did you need Riley's help?
No, we knew that it was up to us to get the job done. Coach, have a game plan, but it was up to us to execute that game plan, especially from a defensive standpoint. And we had a lot of defensive packages that we threw at them.
And I guess, Herb, we've talked about it a lot. There are streaks in this league. The teams go on runs. It just happens.
Yeah, when teams get hot, they're going to make shots, and nothing you can do about it on the defensive end. You just got to keep applying your defensive pressure and hope somewhere or sometime you can break through, maybe get a steal, maybe make a guy shoot the ball short, and then kind of get into their heads a little bit.
All right, we're going to take a break on NBA Finals Week here on MSG. When we come back, a second half to remember with Marv Albert and Matt Gukas.
With a 14-3 run, the game had been tied at 34. Knicks lead by 11. Robert Horry up front with Hakeem Olajuwon and Otis Thorpe. Kenny Smith and Vernon Maxwell in the backcourt. Once again, the Knicks backcourt has outplayed the Rocket backcourt. Knocked away by Starks. 4 remaining on the 24.
Well, we said in the opening, Marv, that the Rocket guards were either going to have to, not either, they're going to have to both stop Derek Harper, make things tougher for him, and also take the ball to the basket. And right now, the Knicks' pressure on the perimeter has been stifling. And if the Rockets don't get more aggressive against it, try to beat it to the basket or at least to the baseline, they're going to take shots like that.
And it's a 24-second violation. Thorpe not able to hit the rim. Pat Riley opening the second half with Eric Harper and John Starks at the guards. Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley, Charles Smith up front. Another good one for Harper, 5 of 8, 10 points. He hit 5 3-pointers in game number 4. Vernon Maxwell and Kenny Smith continue to have their shooting problems. We're just underway, third quarter. Knicks tonight 0 for 5, though, from downtown. Here's Smith. And rebounded by Horry. Olajuwon. Knocked away by Starks, but a foul against the Knicks. It's on Patrick Ewing. That is his third. A look at the backcourt scoring tonight. So the Knicks have had the edge once again. Vernon Maxwell is 6 for 27 for this series. John Starks. Rather, Vernon Maxwell with his first 3-pointer. He has 5 points, and the Knicks now lead by 8. Knocked away by Olajuwon.
And this is the way the Rockets started this ballgame, being much more aggressive at the defensive end as far as backcourt pressure is concerned. And when you do that now, you can get up on the wings and possibly deny passes and be more aggressive in the post as far as knocking passes away.
3 seconds! 3 seconds!
Starks with the shot clock running down, went to the reverse. And the Knicks lead by 10.
A sudden pick and roll, and John Starks took the rest of it to the basket by taking it to the other side, avoiding getting around Olajuwon, and then avoiding the shot block by using the rim as a shield.
Maxwell. Thorpe able to keep it alive. Here's Maxwell for 3. Ewing batting it aside. Charles Smith taking it to the basket. And he draws the foul.
Well, John Starks with the shot clock winding down a bit. Patrick Ewing gives him the little bump and the turn of the corner on Olajuwon, and then nicely using that rim to avoid the potential shot block by Robert Horry, as Charles Smith on the free throw line in a fast break situation. A real nice job, hesitation dribble, crossover dribble, and then got into the lane and drew the foul. Couldn't get the shot to fall, nor the first free throw.
Robert Horry called for that foul, his second. 2 minutes gone by in this third quarter. The Knicks lead by 11. Game number 6 of this series, Sunday night at the Summit in Houston. 7 o'clock Eastern Time here on NBC.